And here's a picture of, on the left is a 22 long, the middle is a 22 long rifle, and on the right is a 22 Win Mag. So real briefly, I wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of 22s to go along with the history of this. I don't have any 22 longs or shorts or the other 22s, but just to give you a brief history of the 22 short. The 22 short is a variety of 22 caliber, and as mentioned earlier, it's a 5.6 millimeter rimfire ammunition, and that was developed in 1857 for the first Smith & Wesson revolver. The 22 rimfire was the first American metallic cartridge, and the original loading was a 29 grain or 30 grain bullet, and 4 grains of black powder, which they used back then. The original 22 rimfire cartridge became designated the 22 short with the introduction of the 22 long cartridge in 1871. Developed for self-defense, the modern 22 short, though still used in a few pocket pistols and mini revolvers, is mainly used as a quiet round for practice by the recreational shooter. The 22 short was popularly used in shooting galleries and fairs and arcades. Several rifle makers produced gallery models for 22 short exclusively. Due to its low recoil and good inherent accuracy, the 22 short was used in the Olympic 25 M rapid fire pistol event until 2004, and they were allowed in the shooting part of the modern pentathlon competitions before it was switched to air pistols. So that's on the 22 short, and let me talk about the other 22 cartridge. So let's talk a little bit about the history of the 22 long, not the long rifle, but the 22 long, which I didn't know anything about myself either until I started looking this up. The 22 long is a variety of course 22 caliber, and that's 5.56 millimeter rimfire ammunition. The 22 long is the second oldest of the surviving rimfire cartridges, dating back to 1871, when it was loaded with a 29 grain bullet and 5 grains of black powder, 25% more than a 22 short it was based on. It was designed for use in revolvers, but was soon chambered in rifles, as well as which has gained a strong reputation as a small game cartridge and sold very well. In 1887, the 22 long case was combined with the heavier 40 grain bullet of the 22 extra long of the 1880 to produce the 22 long rifle, giving a longer overall length and a higher muzzle energy and superior performance as a hunting and target round, rendering the 22 long and 22 extra long obsolete. For a time, there was a considerable price difference between the 22 long and the 22 long rifle, and the 22 long held on with budget-minded shooters until the price advantage finally disappeared. No new firearms are designed specifically for the 22 long, and the largest 3 producers of the 22 long ammunition ceased production, although it continues to be made by CCI, Aguila, and others. Many 22 long rifle guns will chamber and fire the shorter round, though the 22 long generally does not generate sufficient energy to operate semi-automatic guns. The one prominent survivor of the 22 long is the 22 CB long, a long case version of the 22 CB. And since the 22 long rifle performs as well in a short handgun barrel as the 22 long and outperforms it significantly in a long rifle barrel, the development of the 22 long rifle assured the 22 long's path to obsolescence. So we talked about 22 long rifle, we talked about the 22 shorts, and then the 22 long, and then the last thing we're going to talk about is the 22 extra long. The 22 extra long is an American rimfire rifle and handgun cartridge. Introduced around 1880, the 22 extra long was used in Remington, Ballard, Wesson, Stevenson's, and later 1916 models of Winchester's M1903 and M1904 single-shot bolt-action rifles, as well as in Smith & Wesson revolvers. Using the same 40-grain outside lubricated bullet, later adapted for the very much more common 22 long rifle, the extra long was loaded with 6 grain of black powder. Originally, it slightly outperformed the 22 long rifle, but was not noted for great accuracy, while later smokeless loads achieved about the same muzzle velocity as the 22 long rifle. As the 22 Winchester automatic and the 22 Remington automatic, the 22 extra long will not chamber correctly in a 22 long rifle weapons because it is very dimensionally similar. However, the shorter 22 short and 22 long and 22LR will chamber in the weapons designed for it. In the same way, a 38 special ammunition can be fired in a 357 Magnum weapon or a 44 special rounds in 44 Magnums. The power of the 22 extra long is comparable to the standard velocity 22 long rifle, which is very much more commonly chambered and solid. The 22 extra long ceased to be offered commercially in 1935. Well, that's the end of part 2 of the history and difference between 22 long rifle, 22 short, 22 long, and 22 extra long. I hope this helped people out. It helped me out a lot about knowing about the 22 long rifle and the different types of 22s, because until I did this research, I knew nothing really about them. Also look for upcoming videos where I'll talk more about 22 long rifle as far as the popularity of it, why it's so popular, and also talking about velocities. So I hope you enjoyed both part 1 and part 2, and let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.